Today we're going to read Reflection 64 from a little book called Dare to Journey with Henry Nouwen by Charles Rigma. Today's reflection is of Isaiah 53, verse 5. And there we find, "But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed." Wonder who he's talking about there, eh? Who he's prophesying about. Reflection on that. The wounded healer, serving in spite of our own struggles. It is clearly not true that we have to be perfect before we can help another person. This is so not only in the realm of the practical, but also in the spiritual. Ministry does not only flow from strength, it also comes from weakness. It is also not true that we can only help another to the extent that we ourselves have been helped. It is not even true that we cannot grow another person beyond the point to which we ourselves have grown. Frequently, a wounded healer is used to bring hope and well-being to another, which results in growth well beyond that experienced by the giver. Sometimes the wounded healer can bring to the other the very blessing and healing for which the healer himself or herself is seeking. Nouwen reminds us that frequently one must look after his own wounds, but at the same time, be prepared to help the wounds of others. There is nothing inappropriate about this, as if one should be so ashamed of one's own wounds that one is paralyzed into inactivity. In fact, there's something quite wonderful about this seeming paradox. How wonderful that our own difficulties need not prevent us from doing good, that in spite of our own pain, we can still bring encouragement to others. The wounded healer is not the exception to the rule. When helpers are honest with themselves, they will readily acknowledge that they, too, have needs. These needs are not necessarily a handicap. In fact, they can make us deeply understanding and aware of the struggles of others. I absolutely believe that. I do have a bit of a problem trying to witness to people if you still have some sins, but we all have sins. But that last part there for sure. I mean, I'm sure we can all attest to this. There's things that I've gone through in my past that when I know of others that are going through that or have gone through that, I can deeply empathize because I know the feelings, I know the struggles, I know the self-doubt, the self-worth, all that stuff that goes along with being wronged in your past, whatever that might be. So, obviously, those people would probably be able to help a lot more than, say, your average person who went and took something in college or university and never actually had to deal with those struggles. In my experience, there's really only one book that covers everything. And they don't teach this in school anymore. They stopped doing that where I live anyway. When I was in about grade 4, so that would have been like 83, 84-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood. Yes, I'm that old. Yeah, and when I look back on it, and I've said this to people I know for many, many years, that you can, even when I wasn't a believer, you can see how drastically and quickly society's morals depleted when they took God out of school. It's amazing. I know I kind of sidetracked there, but God needs to be everywhere. You know, Jesus said, "Where 2 or 3 gathered, I'm there." That's a paraphrase, but you get what I'm saying. So, let's end this as always with the Lord's Prayer, because it's starting to rain and it's getting noisy over across the way there where they're building a building. So here we go. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. All right, folks. Hope you have a great day, and God bless.